This video was sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can visit their store by using my referral link in the description below. So, this pack, Runo Stromkirk is really good. You do need to build around him a little, but it's not a crazy amount of building around, especially because the baseline is still a pretty good card. This pack also has Diver Scob, which is pretty good. It's, all these exploit cards have been a little less awesome than I would have liked. We've got a Gift of Fangs, which isn't bad. Epicure, pretty nice common, but it's not a very strong pack overall. I think we take Runo, and, if it doesn't pan out, that's not really a big deal. And if it does, the upside's insane. So, if we end up in blue-black or can splash him, I'm happy with that. We just don't have anything great in that pack anyway. Okay. So the blue and black cards in this pack aren't great. The Guest is good. The Curry, both these black cards are good. This blue card's a little less good. They're all playable, but not really what I'm looking for. I think the best cards in this pack look to be Sigarda's Imprisonment and Magma Pummeler. Wolfkin Outcast, too, actually, is something I like a fair bit. So those are the three cards I'm really looking at. Wolfkin Outcast is a Stromkirkable card. Does that matter? Maybe. Yeah. I'm kind of leaning towards the Outcast anyway. Like, both of these, I like the Pummeler, but it's definitely better in, like, a more defensive deck. And I don't necessarily want to be signing up for one of those. And Imprisonment's good removal, but the Outcast is pretty impressive. It is, it's not that hard to cast for a discount, and then when it flips, it's very hard for your opponent to ever really effectively enter combat against you, and I think I like those things. This is another pretty underwhelming pack overall. Yeah. I'm leaning towards Diregraph Scavenger. It's a nice little card. It's another one that's definitely a little more defensive, but there's not necessarily, it's not only good there. It's good in any deck, but, its ability to hate on the graveyard, gain you life, trade for anything, those things are all things I like. Scattered Thoughts isn't bad either, but I like the Scavenger more, and I think it's what we'll take. I do like the Scob okay. If it costs 6, I might take it here because of Runo, but it doesn't. So we're going to take Scavenger. Okay. None of these packs have really been the kind that get you really excited about anything, which is weird in this format. So, Catgeist is okay. I think Griff Rider is better than the Catgeist, frankly. The Statuette can be good if you're in a blood deck, but that's pretty much it. Chill of the Grave's not bad. Might just be where I go here. I always like having one of them. The Catgeist has been kind of underwhelming overall. Yeah, I think Chill and Griff Rider and Militia Rally are all pretty comparable cards. Yeah, we'll take the Chill. Okay, here's a 6-mana card, and it's actually a good one, unlike Deadlight Monstrosity. Dreadlight. I've run this before with Runo, and it does. No, it's only a crab actually, so the doubling part won't happen, but that's okay. So Traveling Minister still being here is a decent signal. It's a very strong common, but I think we're pretty happy to take Screaming Swarm here, given... I think it's a good card anyway, and we have Runo, and that makes it extra good, so, yeah. Okay, interesting things here. So, Resistance Squad is quite good if you end up in a deck that has enough in the way of humans. And Kindly Ancestor, another really good white card. So 2 good white cards here might be a sign of something. We also got Doom Dissenter and Rottide Gargantua. Selhuff and Tumor can help us get things into our graveyard for Runo, which is kind of cool, but I think that's probably trying a little too hard. I think I take the Dissenter. We're in blue-black. It looks like that's where we're going. And it is a great thing to exploit. So I think I like it more. We do need, we're seeing signals that white is open. But I'm guessing it's not going to be for the people to our left. So, yeah. This pack, white-wise, isn't nearly as good. But we do have an Archghoul of Thraben, which we're going to end up with enough zombies that it's pretty good. Even if you have no other zombies, it's still a good card. So we definitely take it. Ooh, we take another one now. So yeah, it's another good thing to exploit. Not that we have any exploit yet, but Archghoul's good. We do now really want to value zombies extra because being able to turn any zombie dying potentially into a whole card is a big deal. So red is, I mean, black is also reasonably open. I think we pretty happily take Gift of Fangs here. I do want a Grisly Ritual at some point, especially if I can't get the Bleed Dry or Hero's Downfall or something, but I think the early removal is in some ways more important. Yeah. So we're not great at gaining life, but it's not impossible we pick up some ways to do it. So I think we take Courier Bat and see if we get there. So this is pretty nice if we get Exploit going. Right now we're not, but it could happen. Scattered Thoughts is pretty good. I think Scattered Thoughts is better in a wider variety of decks. I think I'm going to take the Scattered Thoughts. Aim for the head. Makes the cut on occasion. So here's another 6-drop, but, you know, we've already got one, and I'm hoping we pick up a better one than the Monstrosity. We will take the Specimen there. Oh, interesting. So we get a Cemetery Protector here, which is quite powerful, and we're not... We could easily swerve into a black-white deck, so I think we're going to end up taking it. I know it's tempting to try to stay in a certain deck because of Runo, but... And I guess the other thing that's kind of awkward is most of what we have going on is synergistic. So that's hard. So, you know, Cemetery Protector is great and all. God, I wonder if I should go that route. It's really a choice here between Cemetery Protector and Bleed Dry, which is one of the best commons, kills everything. The Protector, pack one, pick one is the pick, but given what we've already done, I am leaning towards Bleed Dry. I mean, we could move out of blue and take the Protector, but I feel like our deck is going to be worse. So, yeah. I am not using a companion app, no. Okay. So, we have the goods to really take advantage of Exploit already. Biolumag is one of the best ways to do it. I do like Path of Peril okay. If we can't splash white, it's not great, though. I think we probably just take another Bleed Dry. As good as the egg is, I think we just take another Bleed Dry here. Thank you for the sub, Septagon, and thank you for the follow, Erkin Larry. So, Rending Flame is great. We wouldn't mind one of those. But we probably just take another Doom Dissenter here. Yeah. I think the egg is better. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I think the egg is better than Bleed Dry. I mean, I think it's definitely close. Not really anything we want in this pack. Interesting to see Blood Tithe Harvester here. Okay, well, I think we'll take a Lantern Bearer. Great one-drop. We do need to pick up some Exploit at some point. Right now, we're not really doing it. We'll grab Pointed Discussion. I could still see us easily moving out of black, even though we are pretty interested in synergy, thanks to our Archghouls, and, I mean, that's the main thing, I guess. Persistent Specimen. Ooh, okay. Well, finally, we're getting a big payoff now. This is a good exploit. We really need to take some nice exploit cards in our last few picks. And yeah, I mean, the egg is great. But I just think I value Bleed Dry more. If I were more desperate for exploit triggers and had more removal, I mean, I think it's a close pick. I think I would take the egg in a lot of situations, but I don't think that was one of them. Okay, mediocre cards for us. One more 6-drop would be good, and some exploit would be good. That's what we're looking for here. Are we more interested in Skywarp Scob? I think we're probably still more interested in Doom Dissenter. I mean, we need to pick up more Exploit, that's for sure. But, yeah. Right now, Courier Bat probably won't make the cut. So this came back around, which is interesting. It definitely has a higher ceiling, but I think we have so much good stuff with Exploit at this point that we need to take it higher. And if we don't get fixing, Path of Peril's not particularly good. Yeah, we've passed a couple of Gargantuas. Hey, there's one. Do you see how good the white cards... The remaining white cards in that pack were so good. This Epicure still being here is crazy, too. It's interesting. Who's drafting? What is happening? The things that... We've seen some crazy late picks, like, a bunch in a row there. I don't know what was happening there. So, obviously, Maniform Hellkite's great. It would be our pack one pick in this pack. But for us, where we are now, we definitely want Fellstinger. Fellstinger's great. It's one of the best exploit cards. And it's a zombie, which is good for us. So yeah, we definitely take it here. The end of that pack was so weird. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that just because it seemed like there were a bunch of good white cards and then a really late Blood Tithe Harvester and a late Epicure. Like all of that. Like if someone's in black, I guess that basically means no one's in black-red is what that means. Because yeah, I don't know how else that. Ooh, okay. So now we're definitely more interested in Biolumeg. It's great. We've got a good amount of exploit. Hopefully we pick up more. And yeah, Biolumeg is great. Very happy to pick one up here. Especially after passing the other one. So, I think we really would play, like if we have to, we'll play that 6-drop blue creature that nobody else wants. But I'm hoping we pick up something a bit better than that. We'll see. Yeah, everything with exploit is a zombie. So, all right. So I like Desperate Farmer. I like Repository Scout, but I think second Screaming Swarm is worth the pick here. Then we're really set up pretty nicely for Runo. So, yeah. I've had Biolumeg work out a fair bit. I like it a lot. I wouldn't mind a Grisly Ritual, Desperate Farmer. Obviously, this is really good, but that's not where we are. So, Screaming Swarm. Now we're sort of set on... We are set on 6 drops. So, I don't think we're going to be able to take advantage of this enough, even though it's a great card. I might just be more interested in the Entomber in our deck. It's a zombie, for one thing. And for another, it will help us set up Runo a little more easily. It's not a great card by any stretch. I mean, Syncopate and Pointed Discussion are probably both better. But I think I like the idea of having one of these in this deck. Another Doom Dissenter. I think we take it over Chill. I think we just grab another Dissenter here. It would be nice to pick up some random exploit here late. We don't really need the Scob. I think I like the Guest a little more. We have, like, what, 4 cards with Exploit, which is enough, but, like, we want more than that, given what our deck looks like. Alright, good. So, okay, well, another Fellstinger is great. I was looking at the Repository Scob and was going to be happy with that, but Fellstinger is way better anyway, so... We're not going to need to run Persistent Specimen. We just have way better things to sack. My god. 3rd Archghoul of Thraben? Okay. We have everything you ever want, basically. I think we grab another Gift of Fangs here over Chill. Alright, we'll grab a Grisly Ritual. We have so many zombies, right? 10. And we get another Exploit creature here. What a weird draft, because it looked like so many things were open, but in the end, Blue-Black was also really open. So I don't know what other people are drafting exactly. All the aggro decks? No, we saw some good late aggro cards, too. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. But we ended up with a very good deck, I think. If this deck can't make Exploit work, I don't know what can, you know? Red and white were both really open that whole draft, so I don't know So they must have all been in on green. Green definitely wasn't open. I don't know what happened there. There were some weird signals. I'm glad we stuck the course, because we definitely got paid off for it. All right. Got a trim. I don't think we really need this Entomber in the end. Definitely don't need Courier Bat. We're not doing anything with that. I mean, occasionally we might do a thing with Gluttonous Guest, but that's pretty much it. Doesn't feel like we need Scattered Thoughts all that much, but it might make the cut in the end. I think I like Pointed Discussion just a little bit better in this deck. This does help us put things in the graveyard, but it's just going to happen naturally, so I'm not super concerned about that. I guess it is our only card that just sticks things in the graveyard, so maybe I do need to hold on to it more than I need Pointed Discussion. I think it's actually the other way around. I think we're more interested in Scattered Thoughts than we are Pointed Discussion. Oh yeah, the Scorpions, you're right. The Scorpions will probably draw us plenty, so we don't really need either of them. Although, again, this is our only card that puts things right into the graveyard. But yeah, we have enough cards that draw us cards. We're probably okay cutting it. I mean, we don't need to go really... I mean, we don't want to go too hard in being a graveyard deck because of Runo. We also have these three who will let us surveil when a zombie dies, so... Those will also help us load the graveyard, so that works for me. Yeah, we probably do cut the Ritual in a world where we have 2 Bleed Dries. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to have another kill spell, but we probably aren't in desperate need of it. Too bad you're not a zombie. That would be a nice extra angle to have. Oh yeah, that's true. The blood does let us put things in the graveyard. I think we probably cut the guest, though, honestly. I think we're trying to go the synergistic route if we can. And the Arch Ghouls are plenty for loading up our graveyard. So, let's see what our last cut should be. It's hard to cut the guest, but I think we can do it in this deck. Chill of the Grave isn't nearly as good if you're not aggressive, and we're really not. We're just going to be grinding out value. But I don't think we want to cut Gift of Fangs. I mean, there are only early removal, and we're going to need it. How many things does Repository Scob get back in this deck? It's actually not that many. Three. We got the 2 Bleed Dries and the Chill. What? What are you meowing about? Yeah. It's probably just the Chill. Yeah. Alright. That looks pretty good. Deck looks pretty good to me. Definitely got there on synergy. I think we're doing well enough on power. Right, good hand. We can basically curve out, which, you know, we're not really an aggro deck, so... you know, a curve out isn't gonna get us there all on its own, but it does help us get our shields up. So I could Fell Stinger right away here, but I think waiting a turn and just getting, like, the turn 4 Serpent is gonna be better. Plus the Scry would be nice. Yeah, I think we just Biolume Egg here. I think we're perfectly happy drawing both of those, honestly. So we're just going to leave them both. Can't believe we got 3 Archghouls. I mean, I can, but it's kind of crazy. Alright. So let's attack in the air. Then we're gonna Fell Stinger. Okay. So, I think I just rumble with all 3 of these. I'm good with any of the trades. Yeah. I guess I should have played Archghoul first. I'm going to play both of them next turn. So yeah, I think we just play our Scavenger here. Playing both of them next turn and then attacking with 2 Death Touch zombies is pretty nasty. Alright, they got the 13-13 over there. Ooh. Okay, well now I think we go a little bit different. We're only going to play 1 Archghoul. Mostly because I want a Skull Scob, so going wide is big here to finish them off. And then I think we play... It doesn't have to be a non-token, I guess. Lantern Bearer is kind of interesting because we could put it on something, but they may also have a way to deal with it. Maybe I do just play my other Archghoul. Then next turn, this will trigger... Yeah, we'll just play another Archghoul. I think that means they're pretty much dead. Playing a flyer does save them a little. We don't have a spell to get back, so yeah. I think we just swing out again. Our Archghouls are bound to help us one way or another. Okay. Kind of feels like they were just like, what did I have on top? Could I have won this game? I guess sacking this and giving something else fly... No, that wouldn't have mattered. I didn't already have a flyer, so it wouldn't have mattered. So, we're going to be doing some surveilling, and we're going to drop them to 1. I think we do put it into the graveyard. We want to draw some cards here if we can. Ooh. Yeah, I think we put it into the graveyard still. Sure. Kind of funny we only drew what we did. But it's fine. I mean, I think it works out fine for us. So let's just play the Skull Scob here and not exploit. And then we're going to play Stitched Assistant. And we will exploit. I mean, you can still use the Lantern Bearer next turn, so... We did mill our Runo, which I didn't really mean to do, but I must have clicked. I think I would have milled him anyway. Like, we were just trying to draw cards to get up our shields up so we don't die this turn, basically. Repository Scob does not get back the gift, but we can use it to get back Bleed Dry, if that's what you mean. That was going to be my plan if things really went sideways there. Luckily, they did not. Okay, I mean, I think this is a keep. It's definitely a little slow and a little awkward, but... yeah, that's not great for us. That's a fast start for them. They'll transform it here, take a card away, and bash for 3. I don't know whether I would take Bleed Dry if I were them, I think. Runo takes some significant work, and Bleed Dry does not. Plus, I can almost cast Bleed Dry. Closer to casting it than Runo, like, probability-wise. So I would take Bleed Dry if I were them. Okay. Do I just want to play Runo? No. I think maybe we just play Fellstinger here. No, I can't block either. Yeah, we're in a very awkward spot right here. I think we'll just play the Archghoul. Next turn we can play the Scavenger, which will be a lot less awkward. Okay. Although, not being able to exile anything with the Scavenger is a little bit of a bummer. So I think we try to cast the Diregraph Scavenger here just to have a Death Toucher. As unexciting as that is. And we just decline. We're not going to exile anything. I'd rather do that than play our Fellstinger, so... fair enough. Try to play another Archghoul here. I think our opponent may be all in on the control plan. Yeah. I mean, they're just sort of hanging around, doing what they want. We can't block anyway, so... I think I missed an attack earlier where I couldn't block anyway. They don't know we have the Gargantua, which is nice, so they may consider continuing not to add... Okay, never mind. I was going to say, they might stop adding to the board, in which case I think we'd be pretty happy. But that's not how it went. Runo is a pretty good blocker here, and I don't hate putting Archghoul on top. It's not awesome either, though. Maybe I just try to play the egg here. Yeah. More counter magic? No. No counter magic. Okay. I think we want the island. I don't think we want the swamp. We'll draw a 6th land at some point, so... I still can't really block the Revealing Eye, so I guess I might as well attack. Our opponent had a very nice control start here. And we had a very slow start. If we'd had a faster start, they wouldn't have been able to, you know, just not add to the board all these turns, but... That's pretty gross. They got a Bleed Dry back. I guess Gargantua is a good play here. Lets me get rid of the egg. And it gets rid of one of their creatures, probably the Scob. Let's try it. If they have Syncopate here, we're dead. I could have played around it. Yeah, oh, man. Definitely should have played around it. Because if I'd played Fellstinger instead, I'd still be in pretty decent shape, and Syncopate wouldn't have worked. So, you know. Alright, so we're going to go to 2 here. Okay. So, let's play Stitched Assistant. Another creature's pretty good here that we can play right away, so I think we take it. Okay, are they gonna finish us off? Well, not immediately. So, kind of have to kill the flyer, which will transform this. But that's not a complete disaster, I don't think. Yeah. I think it's possible we stabilize. The bad news is, like, if they have a pointed discussion, they can finish us off. And we also have an annoying Fellstinger in our hand, which doesn't do us a whole lot of good right now. So, yeah. I guess we'll play Lantern Bearer and Runo. I guess Runo could have blocked that. I kind of forgot he is a card other than its effect. But yeah, we'll play Runo here. And the question is whether I want to put the Archghoul on top. I kind of don't think so. Yeah, we may play it without exploiting at some point. That is a likely play pattern, I'd say. We may just reveal our other swarm at some point, which would be cool. We can just play this swarm now, so it's probably what we do. Lantern Bearer, get in there. We're on a very precarious point, too. I mean, our our opponent doesn't need to do that much to get through for lethal. I mean, they definitely need to do some stuff, but nothing crazy. So if they kill a creature here, or bounce one, do we survive? I think maybe we go to 1. No, I think we're dead. Darn it. I shouldn't have attacked with that lantern bearer, evidently. Whoa. Yeah, the menace here gets us. Unfortunately for us. There's no way for us to block and not take the damage. So, yeah, we're dead. We dead. Yeah, I mean, I knew they needed some way to interact, and I was kind of hoping they wouldn't get it. But, given what their deck had looked like up to that point, I probably should have been ready for them to interact. Yeah, the graveyard, the Swarm does have that ability, which at some point could be useful with our Stromkirk guy, but obviously didn't really help us there. Should have left the Lantern Bearer back. That 3/4 just tormented us all game long. That was not fun. Alright, not an amazing hand. You know, we have all this exploit fodder, especially Doom Dissenters that we want to get early. We didn't get any of them, unfortunately. Okay, that makes things a little more interesting. Do I just play the Scob here, or do I Gift of Fangs the Minister? It's kind of like a bad Doom Dissenter right now. Like, I could play it here, then Fell Stinger at next turn, get a 2/2 out of it, and the Stinger ability, which isn't bad. I mean, obviously you want to grind out more value than that. But I think maybe that's just what we're going to do here. Decline. Okay, well, fine then. We're not having a great start here. I think we'll play the Assistant and not Exploit. Yeah, if we don't get our fodder going, like, and we get all our Exploit cards, it's pretty rough. It does not feel good. Oh my god. Especially if your opponent keeps killing all of your things that you want to exploit. Alright. Well, we're just going to Gift of Fangs their Minister. I just really don't want to play Fellstinger when I don't need to, and I really don't need to. Like, I want to hold on to that exploit ability. I mean, I can exploit it to itself, but I don't really want to do that either, so... Do I want to bleed dry this thing? It's kind of what we're asking ourselves here. I think probably. Six land means we can play our Swarm. Yeah. Go, Swarm, go. There are lots of cards that can kill the Swarm, but the good news is if we ever draw a Runo, we can put the Swarm on top. Oh. Really?
Out of my way.
That's That's not annoying at all. Interesting. So I can kill him here. I have to play the Gargantua, sack it to itself, and then attack Sorin. Probably is what we want to do. Let's hope they don't have the card that kills our attacking creature for 2 mana. Otherwise, we just paid a very big cost to kill Sorin. To not kill Sorin, I should say. Alright, it doesn't look like they have it, so that's good. So who do I want to mill? I guess them more than ourselves. We don't have that many ways to take advantage of that, so we'll go ahead and mill them. So we just gave them a card in their graveyard that does a thing. But right now it doesn't do a thing, at least. So there's that. Well, that's not cool. Okay. I kind of think we need to play Fellstinger and sack it to itself here. Really? We, like, had to do it. My God. Like, I think that was the right play, just because the chances we draw something we could actually do something with were pretty high, but man, that was horrible. Okay. Alright, well, I think we're in trouble now. That Blood Tithe Harvester needs 1 more blood and it can kill our swarm. Okay. Isn't it actually 4 lands in a row? And they're all islands too, weirdly. That was stupid of me. Darn human. Ruining my life. I mean, I think we had to play it, but it's gonna suck for us. Obviously enough. So I think we take the 5 here. This is rough. We had really good luck in our last draft, so, you know, like I always say, it does even out, but feels pretty brutal right now. I think we take it again. Really need to exploit my Doomed Dissenter here, so that goes back to being a 3/3. Okay, well. Oh, you're a vampire, you jerk. I could Gift of Things my own Doomed Dissenter and get a 2/2. And shrink their Malicious Invader. That's a bad plan. We could just put Gift of Fangs on the Invader. That's probably just better. 1 more blood and they can kill our Screaming Swarm, which is not going to be good, but I think this is what we have to do. Oh, you're a vampire too. We lose anyway. I should probably look at cards. That one's weird because it's not a vampire on the front, but so it kind of slipped my mind that it was one. We were dead, basically, no matter what. The way we flooded out, I mean, there was no hope for us. We started the day with a 7-1 deck. Right now, we're 1-2 with this one. Oh my god. What is it with my islands? Obviously, this is a mulligan. Okay, this is better. We do still only have one color of cards. I think we have to put the Swarm away. It's just such a late play, and everything else we have we can at least play early. We got all our Archghouls. Ooh. So if I slap Gift of Fangs on that, it becomes like a really bad deal for them, if nothing else. Kind of like that. Doesn't kill it outright, but like... it's not going to be winning any races. I guess they're in blue-black, so they could have Exploit, which makes that a little less good, but... okay. I think we play another Archghoul here. Do we just let that transform? If I sack an Archghoul, I get to Surveil 2. We have a reasonable chance of hitting a zombie, although we do have 4 of our 10 zombies already, so it's not that high. I think we just let it transform. I mean, it's definitely a problem, but... okay. So they're just going to Surveil away their Graph Reaver, which, for no real value, Surveil. Exploit away their Graph Reaver. And not get any real value out of it. I can live with that. If they'd gotten value out of an Exploit, it would have been way worse for us. But they didn't. So I think we play another Archghoul here. They're going to be like, are you serious? So we get 3 Surveils, you know, if they decide to trade with both of those, and they do. Oh, we get way more than 3. Yeah, we put that into our graveyard. Oh, yeah, we definitely draw that. Hello. I think we want to draw Bleed Dry, so this may be where we stop. Yeah, this is where we stop. We drew 1 card out of all of that, and we get a Bleed Dry on top. I can live with it. Do I offer up the trade here? If I do, I don't have a great thing to sack to Fell Stinger or whatever, but I think we probably still offer it. Alright. So, I think we do sack it to our Fell Stinger here, then. I could just sack the Fell Stinger. Maybe holding on to this is better. If they had a ground creature I really needed to trade with, that probably wouldn't be true, but... sacking the Fell Stinger does mean we get the Surveil effect also. So yeah, I think that'll sack itself. I mean, I would get the Surveil effect either way, but this will stay on the board is what I mean. Yeah, we'll put that in our graveyard. Nice. Yeah, so now it's a question of, do I want to play Stitched Assistant and sack it to itself? Or... play Skull Scob and sack the Archghoul, so I have 2 2/2s. Probably not that. I could just play the Skull Scob to have a 2/2 so that I can set up better surveil or exploits. I think that seems okay. love that they're leaving all that mana up. I do love drawing Doom Dissenter, though. Okay, so we're just going to attack with the Archghoul. We trade. Okay, so I think I try to go for Bleed Dry here. There's a chance we get blown out by, like, counter magic, but it has to be... Yeah. So we'll syncopate, or do that, yeah. So we get a 2-for-1 there now. They do get to Surveil, which makes it a little less exciting, but, you know. So let's play our Dissenter. So now we have a great thing to exploit for our Stitched Assistant, which I like. Okay. So let's lead with the Stitched Assistant. Yeah, we want that on top. Thank you. Do I Lantern Bearer somebody here and start attacking them in the sky? I think that seems pretty good. I think we want to do it with the Assistant because Archghoul of Thraben is giving us more value now, and if we put all our eggs in that basket, losing its ability won't feel nearly as good for us. Oh, I did just play that. I mean, I got to use my mana, which is good, but given that I just played it, I probably should have played Fellstinger instead. I overthought that. I mean, if they attack, I take it, obviously. Yeah, I didn't really think they would. Alright, so we go to combat here. I think our assistant, doesn't die, at least. Which is nice. We don't attack. I think we play our big flyer. Keep the pressure up. They could have a sweeper. Something to keep in mind. Alright. They just keep making things harder for us than they need to be, you know? Why are they doing that? Alright, so we're going to play Fellstinger here. We're just going to exploit a token. Yep. Okay. So if I put Gift of Fangs on that, I have much better attacks available. And that will actually work this time. Because it's not a vampire. So yeah, it'll become a 3-2. Yeah, I think I can do... I think I like it. Then I think we just swing out. They block the Archghoul, which we're okay with. I think we feel fine about drawing another one of these. Yeah, playing the Doom Dissenter first probably was better. Do we want to put Screaming Swarm back in our deck more than we want to play a Doom Dissenter? Probably, because we don't have any exploit, so yeah. Okay. Is there anything in their graveyard I'm, like, worried about right now? Not really. I mean, I would like to get rid of the Cobbled Lancer. Most of all. But yeah, I think we just attack with our Flyer. Then we play Scavenger. I guess Rottide Gargantua is the scariest creature. Then we'll play both these Dissenters. And from there, it's going to be pretty impossible for them not to die. Even if they Wrath, we get 2/2/2s. So that'll help a little. Yeah, so they're dead to our Flyer alone. They can gain 1 life. So it actually wasn't my Flyer alone, but they were pretty much dead. That was fun. Getting all 3 of our Archghouls up front was kind of absurd. One of these days we'll go off with Runo. We did once last time I drafted him, but doesn't look like it's happening this time. 2-2. This deck definitely has the capability to get us further into the, a higher win total, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen. Especially with me piloting it. Excuse me. Okay. I mean, I think it's a keep, but man, it's not a good one. It is keepable though. I mean, we don't have to draw that much for it to work out. Stitched Assistant can sack itself to itself if our opponent has a slow start, and that's kind of what I want to do, what I want to be doing, but if I can play it and sack it to itself... Yeah. How many other blue-black decks have we been playing? Seems like a lot. Thank you for the follow, Muku Muku. Oof. So yeah, black mana would have made this hand really good, obviously, if we'd drawn a swamp there instead of an island. Or instead of a Doom Dissenter. Although, the Doom Dissenter is what would have made this hand really good, I guess. Alright. Can we afford to stack the Stitched Assistant to itself? I mean, I kind of feel like we're in desperation mode to find a swamp. So I kind of feel like we have to. They're not pressuring us that much. It's not like I'll be able to block anyway with it this turn, because Binding Geist... Well, I guess I could still block it. I think I will just play it normally. Because the Geist can't attack that effectively with it on the board. They have to have removal or something. I mean, it's a trade. But it's a trade I wouldn't be sad about, so... This is where, like, discarding to Selhoff and Tumor and stuff like that could be interesting. Like, if we played ours. Yeah, I mean, so I think we block. I mean, and maybe in a world where we have all of this additional exploit in our deck, we don't, but I kind of think we do. Come on, Swamp. Oh, boy. Well, you know, I think the keep was the right thing to do. I think going down to 6 was probably going to be worse. I mean, the probability that we were going to draw either more blue cards we could play or swamps was significantly high. And, you know, it just didn't... It didn't play out that way because variance, you know. That's just a thing. We still have a shot here, but it is evaporating. Yeah, we had another game where we drew all those islands in a row late, even with extra card draw, which was rough. This deck had so much potential. Although, I mean, I do think, even with all the exploit fodder we have, it has felt, as exploit has this whole format, it's felt a little less impressive than you would think. Our islands are our best friends, I think. So it would seem. We are still at 14, but our opponent has way more action than we do. We could turn a corner, it's just not that likely. Oh yeah, now it's really unlikely. They get a 4-4 and a 2-2. Yeah, if we don't draw a swamp here, we're dead. And even if we draw a swamp here, we might be dead. So... Well, look, it's our Biolumag. It feels like I shuffled my deck really poorly. Like if this were in paper, where all my islands and all my Archghouls of Thraben are stuck to each other from our last game. Yeah, we dead. Well, 2 and 3 is a little sad with this deck, just because I think it could have done a lot better. But you know, I'll take what I can get. Which I guess is a 2 and 3 with that deck. It's funny, the last two decks I thought looked really good, which was one we 1 and 3'd with yesterday, and that one also had some luck issues. Yeah, it's funny that both of them didn't do very well. And then the deck we played with first today, like I thought was a good deck, but I didn't think it was going to go 7 and 1, you know? Didn't think it was going to go that route. All right.